Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you are still watching anything that I'm uploading at this point, I know the channel has been dormant for a couple months now, with the exception of RTX, which was when, you know, all the Volume 9 hype and excitement was coming out. That's died down at this point. And haven't uploaded anything on the channel really outside of like a red versus blue video on a sporadic rate. And I haven't done anything in terms of RWBY Ice Queendom, and those are the two things that I want to talk about at the top of the video right here. Now, before any of that, brace yourselves, because I know this is going to come off as a little iffy, but if you are watching this video right now, that means that I am currently gone from my apartment, not of this earth or anything like that. I'm probably in Canada right now, so I am going to be in Canada spending the rest of the summer with my girlfriend before she goes back to school. And that's going to be for the remainder of August and the entirety of September. So I will not be home until the first week of October. So if you see any future recordings from me, most likely they're going to be in a different setting. Her setting, because she does stream, she does, you know, make YouTube content as well. So that's the first thing that I want to say, and just getting that out of the way. Another reason is because I'm currently like stumbling over myself trying to get everything done. I have to leave for the airport at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is like in, I think, like 8 hours or so. I have to be at the airport within 2 hours of my flight, and then my flight leaves at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I still have to, like, I'm going to record this. I got to finish doing the rest of my laundry. I got to pack the rest of my clothes. I got to shut everything down, turn everything off, make sure everything's good before I leave. So I'm just kind of like going through that last minute stumbling, but I wanted to sit down to record this video because I know that there are people that are just wondering the state of the channel, the state of content, where I've been, am I okay, etc. And you know, I just kind of want to give you guys an overall update, if you will. And I hate that this has become like a routine, and I know that there are going to be people that are going to scoff at this and be like, oh, it's another update, another excuse of why red versus blue isn't out, or why he's fallen off, and all this other stuff. And I get it. I don't need random people on the internet or people that watch me to tell me or point out my own flaws. I know that I am a flawed person when it comes to giving expected time of arrival when it comes to content. I know I'm flawed when it comes to saying I'm going to do one thing and then I don't do it, or I backpedal, or I'm supposed to be doing X, but I'm doing Y instead. And, you know, unfortunately, I struggle with that a lot because, like, there's things going on in my personal life, there's things going on with me mentally, and it all kind of affects my living environment, my living space, my ability to work, my ability to be productive, and, you know, a bunch of other things too. And so I'm not making an excuse. I'm just explaining, like, I already know that red versus blue has been sporadic. I already know that Ice Queendom, I haven't uploaded it since it started. I don't need y'all to remind me of that, because it's just going to stress me out even more and push me further away from giving you guys updates like this at all. I just know that it's going to happen because I had it coming. You know, it's been a constant thing. So I'm going to try my best to under promise and over deliver, and not give you guys release dates on anything, so that way I don't disappoint you and I don't disappoint myself and come off as a liar and someone that can't be trustworthy or dependable or reliable. So I just want to let you guys know I don't feel good about doing this, because it seems like the same old song and dance. But, you know, whenever I upload an RWBY video, people mention, hey, it's worth the wait, you know, your content's worth the wait. So I just hope that despite this happening, it's not something that I plan, and regardless of the style or the format or the way my content comes out, I appreciate those of you who are patient, who are understanding, who do support the content, who watch it, who enjoy it, and look forward to anything that I upload. So I just want to get that out of the way first and foremost, because that's like the big deterrent of why I even want to record this. I'm like having a hard time even looking at the camera, because I just know that there's people I've let down. There's people that don't watch me anymore. There's people that don't care for my content because I kind of fumbled the bag along the way, and I'm trying to pick up those pieces again, so I apologize. With that being said, what is going on with RWBY Ice Queendom? What's going on with RWBY 13? So the short and the long end of it is that Rooster Teeth does not decide who does and doesn't do reactions for RWBY Ice Queendom. RWBY Ice Queendom is owned by a Japanese company, so in a sense, it's kind of like a traditional anime where you have to kind of go by you know, trying to get away with the most you can without getting in trouble. And for me, I'm very hesitant of anime-based content because I've known channels in the past with hundreds of thousands of subscribers who've gotten the channels taken down because of because of copyright strikes when it comes to reacting to a certain thing or whatever the case might be. And regardless if it's RWBY, you know, you might even see the RWBY landscape right now. Other people who have covered shows like Volume 8, 7, 6, 5, whatever, who either aren't doing reactions or they're doing it in a different format. And I'm talking about dedicated channels like RWBYtubers. And the reason for that is because, like, we asked Rooster Teeth for guidelines when Ice Queendom first got announced. And then we asked again right as RWBY Ice Queendom came out around RTX. And both of those instances, they were like, hey, we're waiting to hear back, and we have not heard back yet. So we don't even know if they're following up to get an answer for us. So most of us have to take matters into our own hands. And for me, I just decided that I'm going to wait. I mean, first off, I've been watching Ice Queendom. I have my reactions up on my Patreon, but in terms of uploading to YouTube, I'm just going to wait until the show is officially done, and then I'll upload my reactions on a weekly basis. If I can do Red versus Blue content 13 years after it comes out and there's an audience for that, I guarantee you that there are going to be people that are willing to wait for that if it matters enough to them to want to hear my opinions and my thoughts about Ice Queendom in a way that I can upload that content with limited audio, limited footage, not the entire thing. So it's going to be heavily based on the fact that you've already seen those episodes, because I don't want my channel to get taken down. I can't afford a copyright strike. I don't want a copyright strike, and I don't want the years of work that I've done on my channel to be undone because of something like that. I've been on YouTube. Next year will make 10 years that I've been on YouTube. And so I take that shit very seriously. And that's the main reason why Ice Queendom isn't out. And I feel like a lot of people just don't understand that. They think, well, it's RWBY and you cover RWBY, so it's weird that you're not doing reactions. It's very different because Rooster Teeth only has the distribution rights. They only have the right to upload it to their website to get people to watch it, and it's obviously their IP, but they licensed it to Studio Shaft and, you know, whatever networks out there that are distributing it on television and, you know, on their end and stuff like that. And they have the say of, like, they're the copyright holders, if I'm not mistaken. I think the finale of Ice Queendom is on the 12th of September. So I am still watching the episodes. Like I said, I do have reactions up right now on Patreon. It's just when it comes to being uploaded to this main channel, it is going to be a while. I am working on YouTube edited versions for YouTube specifically, so I don't get into any issues. It's just you guys are just going to have to wait until at some point, probably mid-September, for the content to start coming out. And I feel like it's better to just wait till the show's over, because then, number one, it's all out. Number two, my reactions are in no way directly affecting the week-to-week performances of the show because they're not out yet. And then by the time they come out, the show will already be out. So I feel like anyone who would give a shit to watch it would have already had the opportunity to. So that's my rationale. That's what I think, and that's why I'm going into it that way. Red versus Blue. I just uploaded my episode 8 through 10 reaction to Patreon. It's only the reaction. I have not attached the discussion, which the discussion I just finished writing the notes for. I finished rewatching the episode, writing the notes, and I'm probably going to record that discussion in Canada. So the first half will be me recording in my house, in my room here, and then the next, like, the discussion portion will be when I'm already in Canada. So I'm bringing the rest of the batches of RWBY 13 with me. So I think the next batch is episode 11 through 14, and then I think it's 15 to 17, and then I think it's 18 through 20, or however many episodes are left. So there's 4 batches left that I have to watch, and I'm going to try my best to watch those while I'm in Canada, because so I'm going to Canada for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be for the rest of my girlfriend's summer vacation. So we're going to be spending the next 2 weeks together, you know, before she goes back to school. And then when she goes back to school in September, I'm going to be there for the entirety of September. So she goes to school 5 days a week. So the time that she spent at school is the time frame where I'm going to be able to record or edit or stream. And that's where my productivity is going to come into play, where I'm going to try to finish RWBY while I'm there instead of just using that month and a half as an excuse to just relax and not do any work, because I haven't really been focusing that much on RWBY. I've been focusing a lot on Genshin, on my Genshin Impact channel, MurderofBirds Impact, which is what I've been focusing on mostly for content for Genshin Impact. Sumeru will be out pretty soon too, but I'm going to try my best to be as balanced as possible, because I don't want any imbalance when it comes to, oh, I'm doing this too much, not enough of that. So Red versus Blue is something that I am still doing. Like I said, episode 8 through 10, the reaction is on Patreon if you have not seen it yet. And at the very least, that is going to be the last thing that I record before I leave. And then once I get to Canada, I'm going to be doing the reactions and the discussions for the last, I think the last 3 batches of Chorus Trilogy for season 13. And I might actually be able to get some of those out before I get back home in October. So that's kind of it. That's the reason why Red versus Blue and RWBY Ice Queendom haven't really seen much activity on the channel. And like I said, I know this year has been kind of a fumble for me, and the last couple of years, ever since 2020, like really since COVID hit, I've just kind of taken a hit when it comes to my productivity, when it comes to my procrastination's at an all-time high and productivity is at an all-time low. And I know that's a terrible recipe for disaster. And I'm trying, I really am. And I feel bad for letting you guys down. And I hate making videos like this, because even if I'm being transparent, it's still not what you guys want to hear. So I feel like in a way it's not really effective at getting you guys to, see me meet me halfway on the things you guys want, the things you guys expect versus the things I want to do and the way that I want to do it. And I don't want to compromise my feelings or I don't ever want to feel forced to do something and then the product comes out worse because I had to meet an expectation. I know that that's where discipline comes in, and I need a hell of a lot more discipline for that. And in the meantime, I don't want to compromise my work. So, at the very least, I know that this is something that's going to upset some people, rub some people the wrong way, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, that's just how it is right now. And between now and the end of the year, I'm going to try to end off the year on a strong note and start next year on an even better one. I'm going to be going back to Canada in December, so when I come back in October, I'll have October and November to kind of really figure out what I want for myself for the rest of this year and how I want to usher in the next year with YouTube, with Twitch, and everything in between, and plans for new content on the channel and things of that nature. So that's everything that I wanted to say. Oh, and if anyone's curious about the whole RWBY / Justice League, I'm not excited for that at all. I think I'll talk about that in another video, but I don't really give a shit about Justice League. And it's a unique story separated from anything they've done, which is kind of like, if it's a one-off thing, I don't really know how excited I can be for something that I'm going to watch once and then none of that information is going to carry on into like volume 9 or any other spin-offs or series or anything like that. So I don't know, I'm a little iffy about the Justice. I'm obviously going to watch it, I'm going to see what it's all about, but it's not something that I'm like heavily invested in or super excited for, as opposed to like volume 9 of RWBY or something, or the video game for that matter. But that's it, that's everything. I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys have been well. I hope your summer's been great so far. Thank you guys all so much for the support, especially people who are continuing to support despite the drought in content. I know that that's a choice that you guys have made to do, or rather that's a choice that you guys have decided for yourselves. And I know other people, come and go depending on the content, depending on if the content that they support is around, and that's completely valid as well. I just owe a lot to the people who have continued to stick around despite different instances of my channel's performance. So thank you guys all so much for that. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys really soon in a different setting, like I said, but thank you guys all so much for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care.